Well, there's something you don't see every day. Decided I didn't want to get out of the tractor and hop in that other cart. Good morning, everyone. Another day here on the farm, September the 13th. Picking up about where we left off yesterday. Gonna go ahead and keep shelling that 80 acres of corn. The reason why we quit yesterday was we wanted to see exactly the moisture was. When we got the two trucks to the elevator, and then the elevator ended up closing at 3:30. I don't know why, but it was about 2:45 when we quit. So gonna go down there, take this cart down there. Jonathan's on his way with the semi. Dad's just about to be getting there with the combine. It's only about a mile down the road. So Luke's gonna come pick Jonathan and I up in the pickup truck, I think, and come back for the other semi truck and the other cart. I think we're just gonna go ahead and try to get as much of this knocked out today as we can. Finish it up tomorrow. If we don't get it done, depending on what time the elevator closes again today. They kind of have some funny reasonings, not exactly sure why, so I guess I won't say much, but we're not too impressed. But after we get 80 done, I think Luke's 68 acres of beans will cut, and then probably that 100 there around the shop. That'll be the plan for the next couple days, but corn wasn't doing too bad, actually doing better than what I thought according to the yield monitor, and it should be really close just because we calibrated on beans, and that also works on corn. It takes the data and pushes it over to corn, so it should be good to go. Pretty good. I think, I'm not sure if I told you guys, but we had two different numbers, and if you remember in the other video, I was talking about how we were going some Bex and some DeKalb, just those two brands this year. Well, we had some Bex on this field, and let's just say the Bex beat the DeKalb on the end rows by 27 bushel. So that's pretty good, and that's the same thing that we were seeing last year, so hopefully that trend continues. Now this is the first corn row we've shelled of both numbers, so see how it continues and see how the rest of the field does. Like I said, it wasn't doing too bad for the conditions, about 15-20 bushels better than I was expecting. We'll see how it goes on throughout the day. Already got the windows dirty. Had a little bit of a sprinkle whenever we were cutting those beans, and just enough to get the dust to stick. Because Dad wants to unload as we drive down the end rows. Not a bad idea, I guess. He went down the east side of the field, and I guess he wants to start on the west side, so that's fine. Jonathan and Luke just went back to go get the other cart and semi. I don't know if you guys can see or not. Hopefully you can. Like right here, you can see the tops are starting to blow out of the corn. It's kind of what we were talking about. And down about 12 inches from the ground, some of the stalks are actually starting to blow over, and the ear was almost laying on the ground, which isn't good. It makes it hard for the corn head to pick up, and especially being September 14th, we actually noticed it like September 9th or 10th, so that is really not good. So that's why we're out here getting this corn out, even though it's about 19-20%. We like it to be about 17-18% just because it's a less drying fee at the elevator, but you gotta do what you gotta do, unfortunately, to get it out before it blows over and you're not able to pick it up. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. I guess it's a good test. It's only 80 acres. Good test for the combine, make sure everything's gonna be working right, which it should be because it wasn't the beans. So, oh well, gotta get done at some point, I guess. Well, there's Jonathan in the other grain cart, putting some corn in it, make sure it's gonna work. I'm sure it'll work just fine. Since it doesn't have those tarp bows on there, and you can see it looks kind of goofy, so it doesn't. Told them just park it at the end of the field, and I should be able to dump in it. I don't know if we'll do that or not, but I'll probably be hopping between both of them while Jonathan and Luke are run the trucks back and forth to town. Dad just say the moisture keeps going up on this, so I'm not sure how much we're going to do. If we do end up quitting here, wouldn't surprise me if Dad convinces Luke otherwise to go ahead and start on his 68. But we'll see. Luke just got the first load dumped to the elevator and radioed back saying it was 18.4 the moisture, which is a little drier than what we're expecting, so haven't heard confirmed nor denied from Dad, but we'll probably keep going, which is good. Go ahead and get this corn knocked out, and test weight was really, really good, 64 pounds. Normal bushel is supposed to weigh. Normal bushel is 56 pounds per bushel. So I'd say it's probably because the kernel's a little bit smaller, packing in there pretty tight. But test weight's good test weight, or high test weight is what you want. So I think this corn is going to be a little bit better than we thought. So between the beans and the corn that we've done so far, and both crops surprising us, hopefully that's going to trend on this year. For the rest of the year, I mean, it's hard to tell. We've only done one field of each, so. But if that's the case, we're going to be pleasantly surprised with the yields, which, I don't know. It's kind of hard to believe. Stuff's getting really good at being able to handle hot, dry weather, so it's exciting. Crop prices are quite a bit lower than they were last year, so we need all the yield that we can get. So here's the procedure you do whenever we got to unload. Get pulled up to the truck, kick on the PTO, shift down 3 gears to 4th, throttle up, open up your gate, go ahead and open her up all the way. Even though that sticker's wrong. The sticker was wrong on our old cart too. I don't know if that's just a Brent thing or what. Is there any other guys that run Brents out there that are experiencing the same thing? I'm not for sure about our other cart. I haven't ran it yet, so maybe it's just the last 2 carts we had, but it seems kind of odd. I'm good. It goes up to 6 and about 4.5. About the same for our other cart. I don't really know. But I opened her up all the way, kicked her up to about 1,300 RPM, and you can fill a truck real fast. I haven't timed it before, but pretty quick. Get this truck loaded. I don't know if there's going to be quite enough on here or not. Might be a light load, but we'll see. Well, we're going to stop real quick for lunch. Not getting any meal deliveries yet, being that we've only been going for 3 days, and 3 days, we only did 10 acres yesterday, but gotta go get some lunch, so we'll do that real quick and come back. And we're actually, the way we're working on this field, we're working from west to east. The east end of the field's quite a bit better than the west, so our yield should get better. And I'll give you guys kind of a rough idea of what it is. We don't really like putting our yields out there, just in case you didn't know. Right now it's well north of 200, we'll just put it that way. 200 bushels per acre, so see how it turns out. Well, just got back from lunch. Just ran down to the gas station slash convenience store slash hot bar slash a little bit of everything in a small town. Got decent fried food there. So I'll show you guys a little what it's like to be in the tank of the grain cart. As you can see, we're getting her knocked out. Moving right along. Haven't had to use the other cart yet, which is good. As far as I know, we're about the only guys hauling in. Jonathan said he hadn't seen anybody else when he's been in there. Doesn't mean there's not. Could just be dismissing them, but I wouldn't say there's more than probably 2 other guys. Which is kind of surprising because seems like quite a few crops around that are ready. There's a guy just south of here getting ready to cut some beans, looked like, whenever we went to lunch. But other than that, I'm alright with, because it keeps things moving here at the field. No lines at the elevator, keeps the trucks going, so going well. Need to fill in the space for that gun holder there. Won't be long before a few more fields get knocked out. A little bit less place for him to hide, and I'll be seeing some coyotes running across here. Got to get rid of those pesky suckers. They do the damage on the pheasants and quail and all the other stuff, and every once in a while a few calves. I have some haters out there for running auto steer on the cart, saying, oh, you don't even have to drive it yourself. Yeah, we do. Gotta drive it to the trucks, unload on the trucks, don't we? No, but obviously you don't have to use it out here, but we do. The lines are here, so might as well. I'll just kick my feet up over here, watch Dad. I will say there is one advantage. I don't think it's worth the advantage, but there is one advantage to the stalks having poor health when we're harvesting them, is that we got stalk stompers on all 8 rows of our corn head. So the stalk stompers do a really good job shoving the stalks over, bending them, breaking them off and whatnot. So when it comes time to work this ground here, it'll be at least a couple weeks, we like to have a couple inches of rain on it, help break some stuff down. Plus we'll be busy and maybe get someone to work some ground for us, but when we go to work it, it'll really turn over and break that stuff down a lot better. And whenever we cover it up this fall, it'll all decompose and be ready to plant next spring and turn nice and black whenever we work it next spring. So that's one advantage, I guess you could say, but like I said, I don't think it's worth it. But there's a little bit of information for you guys if you didn't know that. You gotta be aggressive sometimes when you're a hard cart driver. I don't think you guys can see that. About 18 mile an hour. Luckily this field is smooth. I was going, one time I got 22 earlier. Basically road gear. But hey, gotta do what you gotta do to keep the combine rolling. Don't want it stopping. I'm pretty well full. Not quite. But I'm gonna park it here up in the end, and Dad can top me off when he gets down here to me. And then I'm gonna start walking towards the other grain cart. And then Luke will probably be back by the time we get that done, but we'll see. Alright, just hopping Luke's tractor and the other cart. He did just pull in like I thought, but I'll let him unload that onto that truck while I go catch Dad. That way the combine can keep rolling. And I don't know, maybe we'll stay in this cart for a little while, and maybe we'll hop back in the other one. We'll see. Looks like Dad, he's either cutting up the middle or he went over to the edge. I can't tell. We're getting close to this field, into this field, which is good. Making pretty good headway. Dad's going pretty fast, so that's good. Being that we got a late start this morning, we didn't start until about 9:30. But I'm not sure what time the elevator closes. Don't know if we'll get this done in time to get it all into the elevator, but we'll be able to get it all on the 2 carts and the 2 trucks. Will say, I do wish that this tractor, Luke's, was on the other cart, because it's got the front duals and the joystick, hydraulics joystick can be used for the spout. It's a 4-way spout, so spout, you know, forward, back, side to side. While the spout on this cart is just a 2-way, side to side. So you don't use the full function of the handle. And duals on the front just look cool. Plus they do add some weight up there for that bigger cart. But Luke gets set in his ways. Doesn't want this tractor on that cart. Gotta have it on this cart. Whatever. Howdy do, neighbor? I think I'm gonna go back to that cart. This one obviously doesn't hold as much because it's an 880. The other one's 1100 for those of you who don't know. And this one doesn't have the tarp on it yet either, so it holds even, I shouldn't say it holds less. You're not as able to pile it up as more. And so on this field we're piling up pretty good. Just the way the trucks are spaced out, so we can about get this one full and then be good for a truck. For this one, it'd have to be piled up really, really full to be able to fill a truck. So I like being able to fill a truck and not having to be brim full. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hop back in here. Chill. There's something you don't see every day. Decided I didn't want to get out of the tractor and hop in that other cart. Like I was saying earlier, the benefits of having this bigger cart, so I'll just dump off what I need to into there. Then the trucks get back, I can hop in there and unload it themselves. Well, we've got just a couple rounds left, maybe not even, round and a half. So just an acre or 2 or 3. And then we'll be done with this 80. It's just after 4 now. Don't know. Hey, we might get all this into the elevator. Like I said, if not, we can just leave it on the trucks. And if we need to, if there's any left over, leave it on the carts. But I don't think there will be. Real close to getting into the elevator, so that is good. Went by a little quicker than I was expecting, I guess. Who knows, maybe I just lost my touch a little bit on my estimations since it's been a whole year. But yeah, get this done and take everything back to the shop. Probably, I would assume, switch to beans. That way we can cut Luke 68 tomorrow. And doesn't take anything to switch this combine to beans. Luke's is already on it, just a couple minutes really. That is one thing nice about these Case IHs. I know on other combines, I can't speak for all of them, but on some of them you gotta switch belts and pulleys and roll belts over on the other pulleys and all that. This is all just really user friendly. All you gotta do is switch the rotor speed, which is just push of the lever, switch chopper speed, which is you just pull out on a tab and push in or pull out, whichever, depends on which way you're going, on some pulleys, and it automatically switches gears for you. So that didn't take but a couple seconds to do each of those. And then on our particular combine, you got to manually adjust the spreader fins, so adjust how wide you throw your chaff. On newer combines and some of the ones like ours, you can do that from the cab. Then everything else, all the sieve settings and final speeds and everything like that, concave settings is all done as soon as you hook up the bean head and or corn head. Combine senses what you're hooking up to it, and it knows what to switch it to, so that makes it nice. So Case IH combines can be switched in just a matter of a couple minutes. And then sometimes, if we're wanting to get picky with how we do things, we can switch out one concave. That takes about 2 minutes. It's just 2 bolts is all. Lift the one out, put the new one in. That's so we can really get a good, I guess, quality grain sample. Helps with threshing out. You don't have to. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It just depends on what mood we're in and what the crop's looking like. So that's probably what we'll do tomorrow. But I'll let you guys know when we get this done. Alrighty, well, we just finished up with that corn, which is good, and we're able to get it all to town. Just got done loading Jonathan. He's taking off now, so he'll get there just a couple minutes before 5, which is good. And then we'll get the equipment moved back to the shop tonight in preparation for tomorrow. Like I said, I haven't heard 100% sure, but pretty confident we'll be doing those beans at Luke's. So I think that's where I'm going to end the video today. I do appreciate everyone watching. We really appreciate it. If you would, like, comment, and or subscribe, one or all 3 would be great. And maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm not really sure. Thanks for watching.